Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for Everything Arsenal, and welcome back to another episode of the 49 Invincible podcast with me, Zuhum, and Callum. Callum,
And
obviously
my
wasn't
cat.
here last. What? Your cat? Oh,
And my
and
cat.
your cat. And your cat. And maybe Josh Kroenke feels present. Callum, how have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been alright. It's been a
Very
crazy,
well.
crazy week for football, man, because
Yeah.
it got to a point where I didn't care about the semi-finals. You know, when all this
Yeah.
got announced and then it got called off, it got called flat. All like the fans got together and got behind it, and I was so happy because then all
Yeah.
the passion fell back into me again, and I was excited for the semi-final again. So it's been crazy, emotional up and down, but let's go.
Yeah. And Zuhum, how are you? Since the last time we talked, a lot has happened. We've started a new competition. It has ended already. We've played a couple of games. What have you made of the last 6, 7 days?
We finished top of that competition as well.
Oh wow, unbeaten. Yeah,
It's been a bit of a roller coaster,
yeah,
but I think it was also a bit of a reality check because it just kind of opened my eyes a bit, and it's like, yo, this thing is gonna happen. It's inevitable.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I was going through all the emotions that uh, Mr. Positive over here is talking about. He wasn't quite positive over the week, but yeah, it's a bit weird because it all felt so surreal, right? Like, how could this be happening
yeah.
right before our very eyes? And a little bit out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, we saw a bit of it. Uh, we saw a bit of a trailer last year at some point,
Yeah.
and it was quickly rejected. But then this
Hmm.
this felt like it was the closest it was ever going to be. So, yeah, I'm glad it's kind of taken a step back, and I'm also happy because I think, if, like Callum said, if we didn't have that semifinal to play for, the rest of our season would have been done. And then, like, a
Hmm.
game like today's versus Everton, that would have felt meaningless as well. I know right now it doesn't necessarily uh, have any effect in terms of our domestic season, but at the same time,
Hmm.
we need to keep our form up. We need to keep our confidence up, and what, at least there's going to be something to look forward to at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm glad we still have something to play for, and our season isn't over yet.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about the fan protests and Josh Kroenke's fan forum yesterday, and obviously the Arsenal Everton game. So Zoom, since you already started on it, what was your first thought when you heard about the European Super League? Were you in the minority of, you know what, maybe it's not that bad of an idea, or you like, hell no?
I was very much hell no, because I'm talking about this specific proposal that was put
Yeah.
out. The way it was
Hmm.
set up, I felt like we weren't. Of course, we're an elite club and we're not where we're meant to be, but
Hmm.
at the same time, I hated that we would stay in the European Super League no matter how badly or how well we performed. Right? Like, it didn't
Hmm.
matter. We'd stay in it, and there was no merit. There was no merit for the other clubs as well, and it really scared me to think that only five other clubs could qualify, because I know it was initially the 12, but they were going to get three other teams to join, and it would have been 15 in total. That would
Yeah.
be mainstays, but then the five other clubs, from around all of Europe, it was going to be very difficult to really see any variety in that season, and or rather in a European Super League season. So I thought, yeah, these guys are going to kill the Champions League and all that we know of it. Um,
Yeah.
we don't necessarily have the best memories, but we have a lot of good memories to cherish. And there was a reason why we have bad memories as well, is because it's such a prestigious tournament, and it was great to be a part of. The 2006, for example, run all the way to the final. Um, yeah, I was completely no. I knew it was the rich getting richer by far. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it's just greed that's driving them. But at the same time, it
Hmm.
wasn't lost on me that UEFA is the governing body that it is. Like, the way they deal with other issues, they really try to make it seem like they're the best governing body out there, but they're not. They're just as bad. And yeah, at the end of the day, I saw it for what it was. It was a power struggle. It was a struggle for profits. You know, UEFA were protecting their rights. Sky Sports, with all their commentary and their coverage of it as well, were protecting their not rights, sorry, their interests. And
Yeah.
these guys just came out with a better proposal, better for them and for us somehow. But at the end of the day, I hated it.
Callum, how about you? What was your first thoughts?
Do you know what? When I first heard of it, like it came out the blue as this happens, and the idea of it is a good for me. Like it's good. All the best clubs play each other. Yeah, I don't know why we're in it and Tottenham are in it, especially Tottenham. Yeah, but it's a good concept. But the way they formatted it is ridiculous. Like they're taking all the competition out of the game. Do you know what I mean? It's all of the teams that look at Leicester the last 5 years. Yeah, they've won the Premier League. They've done more
Yeah,
than what we've done in the last 5 years. They've done more than Tottenham done. They won a league in 50, how many years? 50 years? Whatever. They haven't even won it, whatever, yeah? How are Leicester not in it? How are West Ham with their season, this season they've gone? How are they not in it? Do you know what I mean? They've done better than us. We're 11th.
Yeah.
We've had the decline over the years. And it proves to me that Kroenke obviously doesn't care. He never has cared about the fans. All he cares about is his pocket. And I wouldn't be surprised me if this idea comes up again, but in a different concept. Like they maybe put relegation in it, or they do something where it pleases the majority of football fans around the world. And I reckon it will happen because we can't stop it. We can't get Kroenke out. Even the protest today, at the end of the day, I've seen it online. Like, half of the people that are going to protest are probably going to buy the new Arsenal top next week. So it
mm,
defeats the purpose. Do you know what I mean? It defeats the purpose. You're giving him money. He don't care. He'll just see you writing outside the ground. Yeah, you're writing whatever. But I know you're going to give me a hunk of your change next. I know you're going to renew your season tickets. Majority of them will. They don't want to give up their season ticket. Fair enough. But you shouldn't protest. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make no
Yeah.
sense. If it was me, I'd have a season ticket. I'll give it up. I'm not buying the Arsenal top. I'm not buying no more merchandise from this club. For me, I'm boycotting because if I want things to change, you gotta kind of show incentive. Do you know what I mean? I want it to change. I want Kroenke out, and just for what he's taking the piss out of the European Super League. Do you know what I mean? He just proves my point. So, I was disgusted, to be honest, yeah.
yikes.
Disgusted with. I'm so angry about it still. Do you know what I mean? I've never
Yeah,
liked Kroenke, so and a lot of fans, and it finally opened their eyes. The majority of Arsenal fans, it's not like Arteta was employed. He's a rubbish manager, but he's employed by Kroenke, like Vinay, who has barely no experience in that job. He's been bloody he's in that job because of Kroenke. Like Edu, a novice, he's been employed by Kroenke. So it's just the biggest problem is that the idiot, yeah, and he needs to leave seriously. So Kroenke out, hashtag it everywhere. Kroenke out, get him out.
So Zohom, a couple of things from Perez, the Madrid chairman or president. So which one am I looking for? From the Super League, whatever he put forward about the Super League, what shocked you most? Was it the fact that there was no relegation? Was it the fact that he wanted the games to be like 70 minutes, 60 minutes, and not 90 minutes? Like all of those things. Which one shocked you most, or which one like annoyed you the most? And you're like, no, no, no.
I think it was the cockiness, the petulance that he was speaking with. I mean, he was asked, Chelsea have dropped out. What are you gonna do? He said, Chelsea have dropped out. We'll just make our own Chelsea. We'll have our own World Cup. They're gonna ban these international players from playing for their national teams. We'll make our own
Yeah.
World Cup. And listen, when you look at the money, you can't help but understand where he's coming from. You're talking about $435 million giving to them at arrival. I mean, in comparison to the Champions League, where if you win it,
Mm-hmm.
I think you earn somewhere about 40 million. That's if you win it. That's very
Mm-hmm.
top of the top. These guys, as soon as you arrive, just exist in this league. You get $435 million. I understand it from a
That's
business
mental.
perspective. And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
like, I understand Florentino Perez's move for this, or his hand in this. Yeah, he wants to get his club out of debt and whatnot, and do the best for Real Madrid. But at the same time, there's a lot of money, potential revenue We're talking billions of dollars, billions of pounds for these clubs to generate this European Super League or to create it, from streaming to just accounts, like all the revenue that they get. It's ridiculous. So in my opinion, I think that was what was frustrating me the most. It was this attitude that he had with it. It was like, yeah, this is going to happen, and we're going to take over the Champions League. We're going to replace it. It was really
Yeah.
frustrating, and it was something that really sapped the his integrity as a football person. Because let's not beat around the bush. This guy's been in the industry. He knows the footballing world like the back of his hand. From dealing with footballing people to dealing with laws governing football. Like, to develop an idea like this, and to maintain his role as Real Madrid president all these years, it takes some doing. You know what I mean? It takes some level of talent and nous. But it was scary, man. The way he was talking about it, it was so scary. I think the thing that really okay, everything pissed me off, but the straw that broke the camel's back, or my camel's back, was the 70-minute nonsense that games are going on for too long. I'm like, bro, first of all, you're
Mhm.
killing football's integrity with open competition. This is why we love the sport, because anybody could come up the ranks and eventually make it. I mean, you have all these kind of stories around Golo Kante, Jamie Vardy, all these guys who came from nothing, and they came with clubs, right? That were also coming up from nothing, and you can't take away the beauty and the disaster or the nightmare that is relegation. There's a beauty of it, and then there's also the promotion.
Mhm.
There's also being like saving yourselves from relegation. That those are all stories within the fabric of football that are so important to us. So for him to come and ruin that, and then on top of that, come up with some idea where they're like, yeah, let's just play shorter games. What is this? Under 23 football or under 19? Under 16,
It's
I think levels play
It's
football.
soccer.
Under
It's
under
soccer.
twelve.
It's
I think
American.
my nephew plays that. He's
Yeah,
12.
they play 70 minutes. It's ridiculous, man. It was so frustrating.
He
And to
was
think
this
that,
close to make it in quarters. He was this close to divide it into quarters as well.
yeah, and the thing is, for him to come and say that, they were, I read some content online where apparently the research that they done, they based it off, the TikTok generation, how they want more of these teams. I'm like, how are you basing it off of them? Like, even if you change nothing of football, they're still going to continue watching it. Yeah, they might say
Yeah.
it's a bit boring now, but as they grow older, they'd understand more of it. They'd grow to appreciate the game for what it is. So it was everything, to be honest. I don't think you can say I don't think you can pick one or choose one.
The one thing that surprised me is that every one of those teams actually said yes to all these proposals. They
I
actually
know.
said, "Yeah, we love
And
it,"
pe-
and
and they
they all
and they
tweeted at the same time.
and they paid to get into
Right?
the league, didn't they, as well? They paid to get into. I
Yeah.
think it was like 10 million or something. So
Mm.
like they were planning this for years. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Kroenke bought Arsenal for this reason. And I
Yeah,
strongly believe that, because Wenger in 2009 did come out and talk about the Super League, and what he thinks this will come, and he probably knew from Kroenke.
yeah,
It doesn't, like, it's
yeah.
just all coincidence. Why would he buy his shares a couple of years ago? All of his shares that suddenly he bought it so suddenly, and this doesn't this that you because if there was a 30, if Usmanov was still part of the board, he would have to consult with him because he's 30% holder. But now he can just do what the hell he wants, and he did this. So, and he was the vice chairman of the bloody Super League as well, reportedly.
Just
But
to
I
add,
believe it.
yeah, just to add on to Callum's point, it's true. It's these American guys. I don't know if they came into the UK thinking, yeah, we're just gonna buy these shares and then eventually we're
Mhm.
gonna roll out the plan. But I mean, it might have been a fortunate coincidence that United, Liverpool were also owned by Americans, and then they kind of probably just looked around, and with Florentino Perez proposing it, I mean, I hear that United and Liverpool are really the main driving forces behind it, along with Florentino Perez. And then, to an extent, I do agree. Maybe they didn't want to be left behind. Maybe there's some level of truth in what Josh Kroenke said during yesterday's fan forum. But still, it shows that you know they they really don't understand Arsenal Football Club. They don't understand their fans. They look at us as customers. And I think there was a question at some point being asked by one of the fans yesterday. And he said, you look at us as customers. You don't necessarily look at us as fans. You don't understand what it is to mean for Arsenal to mean to fans. So it's yeah, it's definitely these guys, and they Kroenke out. Honestly, Kroenke out.
I like the way all of those teams were like, the things we've achieved the last few years, the last 20 years. All those owners weren't even there when these things were being achieved. Like Kroenke wasn't there, the Liverpool owner wasn't there. So they're literally taking advantage of what their teams achieved before they were even there. Like they've been there for 50 years. We've been doing really good. That's another thing that annoyed me. But one common factor, Callum, is money. We all know why they entered, and it is because of money. And you can see those two people right there. Josh Kroenke obviously had the fan forum yesterday and made it clear that they wouldn't sell. What did you make of that comment?
Doesn't surprise me. He's just they're leeches. They're still gonna do the Super League. I really do believe they're gonna find a way to do it because all they want is to where their money cow. Do you know? I heard a thing that apparently Kroenke has multiple teams like in America, and Arsenal's the most successful team he owns. We're the most successful team he owns, and we've won 4 trophies in 14 years. While he's owned us, or 15 years or whatever. We won 4 trophies, and they were FA Cups, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What is that about? It proves to me that this guy don't care. He don't know how to manage a team, for one. Or, like, own a team, and don't know how to... He's clueless, the guy. And all he's going to do is just try... People like that are just going to try to get the rich get richer. Like you said before Zoom. The rich get richer, and that's all he's going to do. He's going to try to do this league again, or he's going to try to do something else. Or in the summer, it won't surprise me if he spends a lot of money in the summer, so it appeases a lot of fans, and then don't spend for the next 5 years. A lot of Arsenal fans will be happy with that.
I hear you. Callum's right. It could be a blessing in disguise because during the fan forum, I think we can just, Glenn, if you don't mind, we just mix it up with reference to the fan forum.
No problem.
Yeah, so just going back to the fan forum, I think they were asked like, what are there going to be any costs, for example, to having entered and then leaving the European Super League? I'm just going to say ESL, and they said but we're going to take on all those costs as Kroenke Limited or whatever, with Kroenke PLC, and he said, any transfers. Vinay as well reiterated. Yeah, that was them. Vinay as well reiterated what Josh said. He said in the summer it's going to be Kroenke's. The transfer window is going to be backed by directly by Kroenke. So I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise, and hopefully now we can take advantage of this blessing in disguise, because it's like if he was spending all this money and we still had Unai Emery and Raul Sanye as our executive board, I think that we would have been in trouble. We would have bought more bad players and looked for raw deals, almost looking for these raw deals, like we're seeking them, But then now at least we have Mikel Arteta, and hopefully Edu can chip in as well. They've done some good work so far, maybe not necessarily in terms of the league position, but in terms of recruitment, at least, I think for the most part, I'm happy with it. So hopefully it benefits us, and then we can challenge there. But he's right. Callum's right. I mean, would you be surprised that when the going gets good, that we're just going to rest on our laurels? I think that's one of the main concerns that I had in terms of the ESL, is that he's getting all this money now, but we're barely going to compete. Our performance
we can't even compete in the Premier League.
Exactly.
Compete against Fulham.
Exactly. So like we're gonna see ourselves being the spanking boys of the ESL teams, and because they're gonna they have ambitions that transcend financial reasons. We don't seem to have those ambitions. Real Madrid, PSG, if they had joined Chelsea, they want to win things. Man City, they all want to win things. We're just being leached, and we would have been leached even harder if we went into that ESL competition with Kroenke as our owner. So yeah.
So you said you followed the whole entire forum. So were you happy with the questions asked, or did you expect more questions than those, or harder questions, or tougher questions than those that were asked?
I think had there not been an ESL proposal, the questions would have been more varied. It would have been more around transfers. They probably would have been questioned, for example, about Willian, But because the ESL happened, it's understandably, the questions were drafted for everything that came with it. So at the very least, I'm happy that we got some clarification in terms of what's going to come, because yeah, this thing is it came and went, but what's gonna come up soon is the Europa League semifinals, the transfer window as well. So it's maybe I would have liked some questions, maybe especially around the transfer activity, and some more clarity with what happened with the Nicolas Pepe deal and Raul Sanllehi being sacked soon after that. I would have really, really liked some questions around that, even though that would have been last year. It's
Yeah.
still relevant in terms of what we can expect going forward. So, man, I really want to find out the ins and outs of what happened with Nicolas Pepe, or the deal that happened, and then Raul Sanllehi getting sacked. That's what I wanted to have asked.
I can only imagine these guys, whenever before they go into these interviews, they always like sit down for like 2 days planning how they're going to answer questions. Like they're
Revise.
always so accurate, like how they're going to answer, like no mistakes. This is
Yeah.
how, in case this question comes up, this is what you're going to say. So, Callum, one of the things he said is he's not been engaging with fans, or they've not been engaging with fans because of COVID. Do you believe him?
This sort of one really winds me up with this guy. I swear to God, how could you bring COVID into this? He hasn't spoke to us in ages. Do you remember a couple of years ago? What did he say? What did he say in the summer? What was going to happen?
Be
He said it was
excited.
be excited. We were excited to be
Mm.
11th. Be excited to see a novice manager in charge. Be excited to be mediocre play. Like, it just winds me up, man. He's just trying to say shit to stop this protest and stop us lashing out. He's trying to stop us from trying to push our opinions across, because they want to appease the majority of fans. But it's not going to
Yeah.
work no more. We know these guys are scumbags. We know these guys are leeches. We know these guys are just going to keep sucking. They're not going to give us. We're not going to buy no one in the summer. We're not going to do nothing. The money will probably come out of the club for this thing. I can't trust these people when all they've done is lie to us. All they've done is leech off us, and all they've done is just take the piss out of us and use us as
Yeah,
customers, like you
no,
said.
just to add on to Callum, I think there was a part where a guy came out and said it. He's like, you guys, in your statement, you said the trust between the fans and the owners has been tarnished, and they're gonna work to rebuild it. But the guy asking the question said, well, nah, it wasn't tarnished. You never had our trust from the get go.
Yeah, I heard.
So
Yeah,
we don't trust you. We don't trust you already. Like we haven't trusted you for ever since the beginning. So yeah, no, I don't trust them either. And I built up a little bit of trust after I saw the deals and the ambition that they showed trying to sign Awar and Party, right? And some of the other
Yeah.
guys like Gabriel Magades and them. But then after this, I mean, you take a step back and you look at the bigger picture. So yeah.
Okay, so Callum, what's the next step now? Would you next step for every other team that try to join the Super League? Would you like have 50% owned and then the rest of the 50% divided amongst fans and other ownership, or would you just ask all of them to just sell and start afresh, and you've learned your lesson? What did you do with the ownership for all the teams now?
do you know what? I think the one thing they should all do is get rid of all them American leeches and get them all out. Do you know what I mean? Get them out the Premier League or out of the top 6 sides, and bring in owners that care. Do you know what I mean? Owners that will, like, forget Tottenham, but owners that care. I just want, like, for Arsenal perspective, I want someone that comes in and maybe not spend money, yes, but like communicate with the fans. Bring the fans are a big part of the club. If we stop buying the tops, the Arsenal tops every year, and stop buying the tickets to the games and stop watching on TV, that's a lot of their income gone. So then they need us. If you think about it, they need us to watch and they need us to buy. So we should have some say. Maybe the 51% of us, the club and the fans on the board level, maybe that's a good idea. But a lot of owners won't want that. I don't know. It can't do, but we need some say as fans of what's going on in our clubs, like out of all of them, and we need to know what's going on. They can't just keep us in the dark and do what they want with things like this, which is going to affect the game. It's going to affect the game in such bad ways, which would have, like, a lot of young fans would have stopped. It maybe appeased the young fans, maybe because of the big ties and whatever, yeah. But no people will be supporting Arsenal. It would have destroyed Arsenal. Who young kids will support Arsenal when they're getting slapped week in, week out against Real Madrid and then Barcelona. Like, what kids are going to support Tottenham? Do you know what I mean? That it's not going to be, it's going to tarnish us. So we need to get these owners out and please, we need someone just to come in and just show some love to us. Do you know what I mean? That someone that loves the club, someone that will do everything for them. That's all I want. That's all I want. Not this leech.
Yeah. So yesterday they also said we know Arsenal fans, we thought Arsenal fans would want to play the teams like Barcelona. You know, Barcelona, the last 9 games we've played against Barcelona, we've won once. I remember 4-1 when Messi scored 4 goals. I remember them beating us 3-1 at their place. I remember another 3-1 in 2014 and El Neni scored the banger. I remember the Champions League final. We've only won once, so I'm not sure about excited. And then I had Steve McManaman, I'm sure you guys have heard of him, obviously, the former Liverpool player. He said there's a time he had that one of the owners came into the stadium for the first time and he actually asked the chairman, which one is our team? So that is the word Zoom, care. Do they even really care? Do they even know about football? Because he was literally asking which one is our team, because he's never seen them play before.
It's ridiculous to think about us playing them that regularly. I understand it from a certain perspective, because I think the Champions League has been hurt, for example, with Arsenal not being in the Champions League. You know, with guys like Tottenham, maybe, I don't know, but like, there's certain teams that haven't been qualifying for the Champions League as regularly, and that part, some of them are United, Liverpool as well. It does hurt the Champions League's revenue or profits that season when such a big club, a European elite club can't qualify. So I understand from that point of view, but at the same time, you're right. We can't be in the Champions League or in the ESL having not earned it, because if we're earning it, first of all, it shows that we're competing, right? We're competing, and at least on the pitch, things are in an upwards trajectory, right? If we join the ESL without any merit, then there's no sign of upwards trajectory. At the very least, what we want is on-pitch performances. We want to win games and then gradually make our way up there. We don't just want to start and then start getting slapped up. I mean, the thing is, like, all the teams around us in that competition are they're miles better than us, in my opinion. Yeah. You have guys who are competing for the title in their domestic leagues despite their chaos. I mean, Inter Milan, we remember they didn't even go through they didn't even qualify for the Champions League group stage, the knockout rounds, and they finished last. But at least they're competing for titles. We're playing against teams that compete for titles, and we need to act like it on the pitch before we start doing it off the pitch. So yeah, no. At the end of the day, I'm just glad it's over, but I know it's gonna come back soon. And Arsenal may have benefited financially, but only Arsenal in terms of Kroenke PLC, not Arsenal in terms of the on-pitch performances, the players, and whatnot. So I'm glad it's done, because I don't think we're going to see it for another few years. They really have to revamp it. And even now, you've heard the Champions League competition in 2024. That's going to include us. And rightly so, in my opinion, rightly so, because after all those years of qualifying for the Champions League again and again and again, people made fun of it. People simplified it and scoffed at it. But it built us points in terms of our European coefficient. Being in the Champions League for that many years, reaching the final, reaching the quarterfinals, and round of 16 quite regularly, it helped build this Arsenal football team's, reputation. So now we just have to get back to it. But at the same time, before 2024, I want to see us, reach the Champions League, gradually get out of the group stages, fight in the knockout round, go up against the best and more regularly, and then we see whether we justify it even more, being in the 2024 format. So yeah, hopefully, man, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so just a quick one on the Super League again, Callum. Let's say they'd actually announced that they're going to be 20 teams in the competition, but they never really mentioned any team. Would you have tipped Arsenal to be in that competition? Would you have expected Arsenal to be in there?
100%. Because I see it as this, yeah. I see it as we are the worst we've ever been in our history. Like in a long time. Yeah. This is the worst season we've had in years, yeah. We are declining very rapidly, yeah. We are getting our players are crap, yeah. Our manager's crap. And it doesn't surprise me that if we get kicked out Europa League, yeah, this will happen. Because if we get kicked out Europa League, we have no European football next season, yeah. Don't be surprised if Stan Kroenke is probably the chairman of the bloody thing next season or the season after. And he pulls us in there because he's going to lose so much money. The guy's going to lose a fortune because we're not going to get no European competition. And what players are we going to get? Because he's not going to put money into the club because he never has. Really?
Yeah.
We've only spent our means. So what are we going to do? Who's going to come to us? Oh, we'll see Arteta. And we're going to get no players. So players are going to leave. Do you know what I mean? So it's just going to get worse for us. This is what I mean. If we don't invest. And I think, like I said, go back to the question. Yeah, I did. I 100% knew. I knew it.
Yeah, because of Kroenke and money and all that. So I will put you guys on the spot a bit. So I'll start with you, Callum. When you see those two people on screen right now, which three words do you think of?
Scumbag, parasite. That's what I see.
So which okay, before it comes, three words that you think about when you see these two guys.
Capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
I think immediately now after having the show with Callum, leech.
Leech.
And disconnected.
Greed. I'm surprised none of you said greed. The greed in these people. The greed.
That's just what they are.
That's the one. Yeah, greed is in capitalism.
No, but I'm surprised you guys didn't actually say the word greed. Like that's the one thing I always think about. Greed. These guys are very, very greedy. Liars as well. They are absolute liars. So
that's what
fans protest.
The scumbag. Yeah. That everything goes into that bag. You know, the scumbag. Everything. The lying, the greed, everything goes in that bag. So that's why I said it.
Yeah. So fans protest today is home. Are you okay with it being done on the same day as a game? Do you think it affects the players?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest way you can drive the point. It has to be during the game when the cameras are rolling. You know, there's not going to be as many cameras rolling if there's no game. So the maximum coverage, the better. And in my opinion, I hope it doesn't affect the players because it shouldn't. Just play your game. It shouldn't matter who the.
Yeah, I mean, Kroenke has taken over Zoom's internet as well, Callum. So Kroenke is leeching literally everything, every single place. How about you? What are you expecting from the protest today?
No, do you know what? I think it's going to be a big turnout. But do you know what? I don't care. The players are weak-minded. It wouldn't surprise me that it affects them. Because they can't. I think honestly, I heard apparently Jack Wilshere is coming down there. I don't know if that's true. I've heard.
I hope so.
You know what I mean? I heard apparently, Ian Wright is giving it all on social media and all that. Yeah, Kroenke out and that crap. Why? Let's see if we see him down there today. Do you know what I mean? He's giving it. Let's see if he sees that and he's protecting his job at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Let's see all these people that are giving it all the talk online and giving it all the big one. Yeah, let them be at the protest today and let them just stop the bus, stop the game. Don't stop it, because the thing is, if we burn their pockets and stop the game, and it's going to cost them a lot of money if they don't play or whatever. Yeah, hopefully they can show notice to Kroenkes and get them sorry, mind my language. Get them pricks out. Do you know what I mean? I've had enough of them. We protest, and we should protest even at a Villarreal game and protest at every game to the end of the season, because regardless if we win the Europa League, which will paper over cracks, yeah, because it'd be very lucky if we win that, yeah. But if we win it, it'll paper over cracks and it will put all the fans back on this other side again. I want us to win the Europa League. Don't get me wrong, I want to win, yeah. But the thing is, I want this owner. If we win, it's just gonna paper over cracks. If we lose, yeah, hopefully get the prick out. Do you know what I mean? And we could say bye bye to him and leave him in America. Do you know? We could get a proper owner in. But we need to stay on top. Stay on, even in maybe not in the final, but obviously it's gonna be in another country where it's not gonna be in Europe, being in the next country, yeah. But we need to stay at it. Even next season, when fans go back in the Grand, no one go to the game. No one go. All that. Make the seats empty,
Mm-hmm.
and that will show. That will show. And if we are really serious about this, we gotta stay together, and we gotta just push it out. Not like mollycoddle and be a little. No, I don't know, and then go buy the shirt next week. Like go to the thing and go buy the shirt next week for 60 quid. It defeats the purpose. Do you understand? So let's hope we can stick together and we can just drive these leeches out of the club, and that's what we need. So. Yeah.
Awesome. So speaking of the game tonight, that's Arsenal against Everton tonight. Obviously, last time out you drew against Fulham, disappointing. So what did you do in this game, Callum? Would you literally rest everyone, the likes of Saka and Partey, or
I would
start the likes of Nketiah ahead of the Europa League game, or what did you do?
Yeah, I'll drop everyone because we've already lost Laka now. Do you know what I mean? So we don't have a forward other than, and I know Arteta's gonna play Eddie in the Villarreal game if I'm lucky Laka's not fit. Yeah, so I'll drop Partey. I'll drop Saka. I'll drop them all. Just drop them all. Play the kids. Do you know what I mean in that game? Because the league don't matter anymore.
Who are the three players that you'll definitely rest? Who are the three players that you'll definitely
rest? It has to be Saka because he's our biggest player. He's the one that he's our danger man. It has to be Saka, Partey, and Jesus, Gabriel maybe. Gabriel, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure Gabriel will even start the Europa League game. I think Pablo Mari and Holding will start it because Gabriel has been a bit shaky, I think.
Or maybe Mar. I don't know.
Maybe, it's a tough one. Yeah, it's a tough one because at left, Xhaka.
No.
I know you don't like Xhaka, but he's been covering for us at left back. We have no other left back.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a problem though, isn't it? Because he showed the other day against Fulham that he was exposed. It don't work with him left back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Xhaka, because all of our players are like Laka's injured. Do you know what I mean? A lot of is Odegaard back? I saw him in training on my phone earlier. So I don't know if
he should be back. He should be back for the Europa League game next week. I'd actually rest Smith Rowe is the one
Smith Rowe as well.
Fear.
Smith Rowe,
that's the one.
You know what's going to happen.
It's
either going to be Saka or Smith Rowe if he plays. If they play today, it'll be one of them that gets injured, or Partey. He will get injured. It'll be I swear we don't no more injuries, no more heartache. We just want them as all fit as we can get them, and we need to be as full powered as we can for that Villarreal game because it's going to be a tough test.
Awesome. So your prediction?
I don't know. Maybe 2-1, and that's optimistic. I think. Maybe even a draw. I don't even know. Actually, I'll say 1-1 because from what I saw the other day, we couldn't even beat Fulham at home. You know this ESL thing has paper over crap. Like we forgot like a lot of because of all this going on.
Game,
But we were crap. We were rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It depends what Arsenal turns up. We could turn up and bat at Everton 4-0. Or we can turn up like a bunch of mugs again and have no fight in us again, and they could just slap us up. So I don't know. I'll say a draw. I think it'd be maybe a 1-1 draw because hopefully he plays a team that's weakened. So 1-1 draw maybe.
I think there are three players that are definitely going to start today. That's Gabriel, definitely going to start. I think Sabas is definitely going to start, and I think Pepe is definitely going to start. Martinelli and Nketiah as well, maybe. But Pepe is the one I want to see doing well this week. I want to see him getting a goal. He's been probably one of our better players in 2021. Pepe has been scoring, especially away from home. He's been doing really good. Saka definitely rest. I don't want Saka to get injured at all. We already lost Tierney, Luiz, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and we can't afford going into those games with only Nketiah as a striker. That would not be powerful enough in the next game. So, I know he did get a goal last week. So let's see if he gets a goal tonight.
Gave it all that at the last minute when we needed a goal.
I didn't enjoy that. You're supposed to pick up the ball and go straight back to the middle. So let's hear Zul's prediction.
Sorry guys, you got disconnected a bit. Wi-Fi a bit choppy here. Yeah.
No problem. So just final topic: Arsenal Everton. I was asking Callum 3 players that you definitely rest today.
Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka. No. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. No, I'm not resting any players. Win the game. Get it 2-3-0 up or 3-1 up, whatever. Get a comfortable lead and then rest the players. They have to deserve it, in my opinion. Plus, I mean, they haven't had a week of football, no? So for me, start Partey, start Xhaka, Balogun or Martinelli up top, and then Yeah, and then you take it from there. Once you're in the 60th
Winning.
minute with a
Yeah.
2-0 lead, or maybe 1-0, or actually maybe 2-0, 3-1, then you can rest these players, take off, because you can make three subs, so it's cool, man.
Winning mentality, and then prediction.
Uh, I'm gonna go with a narrow win, maybe 2-1, late drama.
2-1
Uh,
to Arsenal.
yeah, I'm hoping we get a 2-0 lead and we hold out until like the 80th minute. Then maybe we might concede. We've been conceding a lot of
Okay.
goals recently, man. In our last 14
Yeah.
games, we've conceded in all competitions. We've conceded goals. So that's
Yes.
in stark contrast to what we had in the beginning of the season, where we weren't scoring, but at least we weren't conceding either. Well, we were, but yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we're not
So
scoring, now we're
Everton's
conceding. Do you know what I mean? Now
yeah
we're not
Everton's
scoring and we can't
defense
and we're
looked
conceding
very
now.
shaky. Everton's defense
Mm.
looked very shaky last week against Tottenham. Our squad is really depleted, so as Callum said, it's looking like a draw, I have to say. But I'm hoping we get a 2-1 victory in this game. So yeah, let's see how the fan protest goes. Callum, thank you for coming on. Make sure you follow him at Red Mr. Positive, and thank you, Zone, for coming on. Clearly, Kroenke is messing up with the internet as well. Doesn't want you to get your points across. So thank you for watching, everyone. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right, mate.